Honestly, if you're following these steps, I'm positive, I've seen it happen time and time again, you will see an exponential increase in views in your content. What's going on, fellow creators? It's Joseph here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be detailing 3 steps to getting a viral video on TikTok. Now, I will say that going viral on the platform isn't the be-all of TikTok success. Don't always make that your priority, because you can have a huge fan base, but dead community and no brands or sponsors willing to work with you in the long run. And so that's why we're going to be talking about how you can achieve, or at least work on achieving, the best of both of these worlds. Quality in views, but also the quantity that we're all looking for. By the way, this video is kind of a part 1 of a 2-part series, maybe a 3-part series. I'm not sure what the future holds, because in an upcoming upload, what I'm going to be doing is applying this exact same structure that I'm going to share with you today to one of my own videos to get that video to go viral, so you kind of see what I'm talking about in action. I didn't have enough time to do that today, just because I wanted to make sure I devoted enough time to actually explaining these concepts. But hey, at least it gives you a reason to subscribe down below for future uploads so you don't miss out on that. So I'm going to do my best in this video to make sure that all 3 of these steps that we talk about are clear, they're understandable, and they're also actionable as well. Starting with step number 1, which is to identify your video structure. Not your video idea, your video structure. This is something that not a lot of people put a lot of attention to, because most people, they'll have a viral idea, and it truly is a viral idea. They'll spontaneously pull out their phone or their camera, they'll shoot it, they'll edit it, they'll upload it to TikTok, and of course there's probably a couple small steps that I'm skipping out on, such as hashtags and captions, which of course most people do. But in order to have a viral idea reach vast audiences, it needs to be packaged well. So let me share a couple of video structures with you, packages if you will, that are actually quite common in a lot of viral videos. Now, I will say there's way more than just 3 of these. In fact, we'll actually be covering additional structures in a later upload coming next week. But regardless, do try to implement some of the ones that we talk about today in one of your next videos. So let's start with number 1, which are video themes. In these kinds of videos, the visuals, the hashtags, the captions, and the audio all revolve around one central idea. Now, don't let this concept overwhelm you. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's actually quite as simple as making everything Marvel related, or basketball related, or mathematics related, or if it's inspirational content, keep it all inspirational. As we'll discuss later in this video, this continuity between ideas will actually help you reach targeted audiences on TikTok. The next video structure we're going to talk about is the Promise-to-Payoff video structure. This video structure, hands down, has been responsible for most of the viral videos that I've put out. In fact, the very first video that I had that got over 1 million views made use of the Promise-to-Payoff structure. In fact, this is the exact structure that we're going to be using in part 2 of this video when we actually create a viral video from scratch. But don't worry, I won't keep you in the dark. This is actually a very simple video structure, and here it is. You start with some sort of a promise in the very, very beginning of the video, a claim. And this can be something as simple as teaching people how to overcome emotional anxiety with this simple mind hack, or the top 3 mistakes that people made in the Incredibles movie, or whatever it is. The point is, you are setting the stage, you're creating a narrative, giving people something to expect. After the promise, there's always a little bit of a process of you trying to do what you said you were going to do, and the payoff at the end, promise to pay off, is you actually accomplishing the action. So in a nutshell, that's the Promise-to-Payoff video structure. I actually go way more in detail in a previous video here on my channel, which you can find linked below. But let's go ahead and move our attention to video structure number 3, which is video sequels. Here's a fun fact for you. Out of the 10 most viral videos on TikTok in 2020, maybe we'll review those in a future video, 5 of them are part of a multiple part video, or a concept that was continued in a part 2. Super, super interesting, right? The reason why a video series or sequels is so powerful, videos that are back to back, is it because it incentivizes your audience to be part of something, part of a journey. Most people will have videos that are one-hit wonders, videos that do really well, but that's pretty much it. And we all have those, including myself. But if you can create a part 2 of the best style hacks for going on a date, or the best card tricks to impress your significant other, just as 2 examples, people, our human nature is, we want closure. We want to see you succeed. We want the best, the latest and greatest information, and we're gonna be willing to stick around to see what comes next. I don't think I've mentioned this in previous videos, but what separates good videos from great videos is not the view count by any means. It's the conversion ratio of views to followers, those people that are willing to stick around. By the way, real quick, just as an added bonus before we move on, if you want to take your video series or sequels to the next level and have it stand out, try coming up with some sort of a catchy or clever name for it. For instance, a real estate agent friend of mine created a series on TikTok called Keeping It Real, and what she would do is she would chronicle behind the scenes, little bite-sized sneak peeks of her life as a realtor, things that most people didn't know about. There's also a fitness coach that's currently a client of mine, and we came up with this of a series for him called Mental Momentum, where he would share mental performance tips and things like that. And it's actually a very, very successful viral series on TikTok. That being said, let's talk about step number 2 for creating a viral video, and that is to incentivize engagement. So remember in the beginning of this video where we talked about achieving the best of both worlds, quality and quantity in views? Well, engagement is actually one of the most underrated tools for achieving both. I'll explain why in just a second, but first, here are some things you can do to get good engagement. For instance, you can ask questions in the captions to encourage people to comment, or you yourself can comment in the comments section and encourage people to start a discussion. Remember that likes and comments, they don't matter so much from an algorithmic standpoint, as in they're not gonna make or break video success. There are plenty of examples of videos that are in the tens of millions on the For You page that have horrible like and comment ratios. However, likes and comments, they do indirectly affect watch time, because when you read and write comments, the video loops in the background, increasing total play time. Speaking of reading and writing comments, really quickly, if you found this video informational or helpful in any way, be sure to leave your thoughts down below along with your username, your TikTok handle, and I will pin one of your comments to the top of the comments section. But that being said, the engagement action that you really want to be optimizing for in your content above anything else are the actual shares. Because if you think about it from a tactical standpoint, if people natively, organically are not pushing your video out there by sharing it, distributing it onto their own social feeds, then there's no reason why the algorithm is going to push it forward, because there's no established interest and people don't find it unique enough to share it. Now, you can do things like visually and verbally asking your audience to share your video just to kind of kickstart some of that initial interest so that TikTok sees that there is an audience engaging with this content. But one concept, one video idea that really optimizes this idea of shares are what are known as send solutions. Now, these are those videos, and you've probably seen them before across TikTok, where a user creates a solution to a problem and encourages the viewer, you as the user watching, to send the video, to share it to someone who's actually dealing with something similar. For instance, send this video to your cousin to make their day, or share this video with a friend who just lost a loved one with the intention of giving them some sort of support through the video. They can also be comical, hilarious ideas as well, such as send this time waster to your family without any sort of context. If you can convey a concept with an intent for a specific person, then your viewers will push it out for you. Step 3 of creating viral videos is to hyper-target your audience. This is an aspect of TikTok that has improved substantially over the past few months. TikTok really isn't a search engine like YouTube or Google is, and so to put the right content in front of the right people, it's a two-way street, a harmony between the algorithm and the creators. Let me explain what I mean by that. So the goal is to put your content in front of people actually interested in what you have to share. I truly do believe that every single person has a viral idea in their brain that deserves millions of views and eyeballs on it, but lack of progress happens when that idea is shown to a select few people who have no interest in it, and there's no growth from there. So to classify your videos better, to put them in front of the right people, think about the hashtags and the captions, and possibly even the songs or the sounds that are relevant to your particular audience. Let's take an example. If your account revolves around, let's just say, poker and card games, and the video concept is Batman fake teaching people a poker strategy. This is an actual video that my friend has filmed, by the way, and he's actually banked it to be uploaded in the near future. We've strategized using hashtags such as hashtag poker tips, hashtag poker game, hashtag card games, Texas Hold'em, Joker, Royal Flush, Batman, hashtag cheating. And the caption that my friend actually proposed is, when Batman loses poker, he uses his Joker. This video is intended for audiences who understand poker and the inner workings of the game, or at least the basics, thus the keywords in the captions and the niche relevant hashtags. It's an extremely simple concept, but it's a very, very powerful one that TikTok optimizes for heavily. By the way, if you'd like additional information on this subject, such as how to identify these niche specific hashtags for your industry, or to pinpoint trends that you can capitalize on, be sure to check out my video on hashtags that talks about both of these concepts, but also take a look at the description. There's a couple of resources, including the TikTok tip-offs resource, which you can get access to if you have not downloaded that already. So that being said, let's take a step back, let's look back in retrospect, and let's recap. Here is your plan of action, your 3-step plan for a viral video. Number one, come up with your video idea. Or actually, that's even before everything. Come up with your video idea. Inspiration can come from anywhere. First of all, identify which video structure that you want to utilize. Pick one of the three that we talked about. Number two, make sure your video is incentivized for engagement, preferably shares. And number three, make sure that it's optimized for a specific audience with the hashtags and the caption. Honestly, if you're following these steps, I am certain, I'm positive, I've seen it happen time and time again, you will see an exponential increase in views in your content. Now, disclaimer, it may not be your first video, may not be your second video, your account authority may be to blame if for whatever reason you're constantly deleting content, or maybe you've gotten multiple videos taken down and banned for whatever reason, but stick with the process and you will see the impacts of following all three of these steps. Also remember that this video is a part one of a potential part two and part three. And so if you want to see me actually strategize, I'll get out my whiteboard back there and we'll talk about how to get a video on the For You page and I'll actually do it. Then make sure you're subscribed down below so you don't miss out on that upload when it rolls out. Please be sure also to like this video down below because those upvotes really help the YouTube algorithm push this video out there. And of course, my sole purpose with this channel really is to kind of document my experience on the platform too, but also to help you guys and provide relevant information. So if there's any particular video that you want me to create, I read every single comment, the good and the bad. Let me know down below and I can certainly make it happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, we'll talk next time. Take care. Cheers.